The whole family could see the countdown above my sister Stella's head. They all knew she would die on her 16th birthday, so Stella became the most precious person in this household. The delicious snacks were hers, the pretty dresses were hers, even the bedtime stories from Mom and Dad, those were hers too. Until I finally made it to her 16th birthday. Mom and Dad, afraid I would cause trouble, locked me burning with fever in the storage room. I pounded on the door in fear. "Mom, let me out. I have a fever. My head hurts so much." Mom gritted her teeth. "Enough. Your sister only has today left before she dies. Can't you just bear with it?" But I feel awful. Gradually, the sounds outside the door disappeared and my consciousness grew hazy. My body suddenly felt very light. Through the old wooden door, I could see the warm lights in the living room. Mom and Dad sat pressed close to Stella on the sofa. Stella wore her only new dress, pale blue, with tiny embroidered stars on the hem. Her face looked especially pale under the lamplight, her lips almost bloodless. "Mom, Dad, is Ivy really okay?" Mom's words caught in her throat. Her eyes reddened. "Just focus on your birthday tomorrow. Don't let her ruin your mood." Stella pressed her lips together and said nothing more, but her brow furrowed even tighter. I knew she always felt she owed me something. In the living room, Mom tenderly touched Stella's face, her fingertips softly brushing the stray hair from her forehead. "Stella, don't pay attention to her," Mom said, exhaustion in her voice. "That child has been jealous of you since she was old enough to understand. You know that." I froze. Yes, I was jealous of Stella. I was jealous that she had all the favoritism, jealous of her new dresses, jealous that when she had a fever, Mom would watch over her all night, jealous that even with only one day left to live, she was still the apple of Mom and Dad's eye. I drifted towards Stella, wanting to grab her hand, wanting to tell her I really did have a fever, that my head really hurt. But my hand passed straight through her body, like passing through a wisp of fog. I stopped midair, staring blankly at my transparent fingers. I was already dead. What came before Stella's countdown hit 0 was actually my death. Memories rushed in like a tide, carrying the smell of old dust. The summer I turned 7, Mom roasted a chicken. 2 golden, glistening drumsticks sat on top. At dinner, Mom carefully placed both drumsticks in Stella's bowl. "Stella, eat more. Build up your strength." I looked at the few green vegetables in my own bowl. Tears suddenly fell. Why does Stella get both drumsticks? I want to eat them too. I want chicken drumsticks too. Dad's chopsticks slammed heavily on the table. "Ivy, how can you be so inconsiderate?" He stood up, his face dark with anger. "Don't you know Stella's health is poor? Don't you know that Stella—" He couldn't continue. I didn't know. I only knew that Stella's complexion was always very pale, that she sometimes coughed, that Mom and Dad always looked at her with that sad expression, but I didn't know what that meant. Why does everything belong to Stella?" I cried out, jumping down from my chair and pointing at Stella sitting across from me. "Why don't you just die? Give my things back to me." Stella's tears instantly fell, big drops splashing into her bowl. She opened her mouth but couldn't make a sound. Mom shot up and slapped me across the face. That was the first time I'd been hit so hard. Stella lunged forward to protect me, but Mom held her back tightly. Let her learn her lesson. Let her know what she can and can't say. The next day, I overheard Mom and Dad talking in the kitchen. 9 more years left. Mom's voice was crying. I know. Dad's voice was hoarse. 9 years. Just 9 years. That's when I learned that Stella really would die. That the numbers above her head that no one else could see were her life countdown. In the living room, Mom and Dad, eyes red, carefully sent Stella back to her room. I watched, my heart suddenly aching. "Should we let Ivy out?" Dad's voice was soft. Mom was silent for a long time. "Let her endure it a bit longer." Mom finally spoke, her voice so exhausted it seemed to take all her strength. "At least, let Stella spend this birthday peacefully. Just this one day, the last day." I saw Mom raise her hand to wipe her eyes. "Ivy will understand." She seemed to be convincing herself. "After Stella's gone, we'll definitely make it up to her." Dad said nothing more, just walked to the kitchen, took a small piece of bread from the cupboard, and walked toward me. "Ivy," he said softly to the door. "Dad brought you some bread. Eat something. Don't go hungry." I floated in front of him and reached out to touch his face. My fingers passed through his body. Sigh. Dad sighed and stood up disappointedly. This child, still sulking. He pushed the bread further through the door crack. "Just stay in there and behave. Don't make trouble. After your sister is gone, Dad will definitely make it up to you." I didn't wait for him to discover me. I looked at his retreating back and said softly, "You don't need to, Dad. You don't need to make it up to me. You'll never have the chance." After Dad left, the hallway fell silent again. Soft sounds came from the living room. Mom came out of Stella's room, gently closed the door, and stood in the hallway in a daze. She looked at the storage room door, her lips pressed tightly together, as if struggling with something. Finally, she walked over and crouched where Dad had just crouched. "Ivy," her voice was soft. "Don't blame Mom, okay? Mom knows you feel wronged." She continued, her fingers unconsciously picking at splinters on the door panel. "But Stella only has 1 day left. Just let her have this. Let her leave happy, okay?" I floated in front of her, seeing moisture at the corners of her eyes. She raised her hand and wiped quickly, as if afraid someone would see. "After Stella's gone, Mom will make your favorite burgers. A whole plate, all for you." Her voice grew smaller and smaller, finally becoming almost a murmur. "I'll buy you a new dress. The kind with bows, you've always wanted one, haven't you? Mom will take you to the amusement park, ride the carousel, ride the roller coaster. Didn't you say all your classmates have been there except you?" Her tears finally fell, hitting the old hallway tiles and spreading into small dark spots. "I'll give you everything. Everything. So just today. Don't make trouble, okay?" I reached out, wanting to wipe away her tears. She waited for a while. The storage room remained silent. The sadness on Mom's face slowly faded, replaced by a kind of anger. She suddenly stood up, stumbling because the movement was too abrupt. "This child, so inconsiderate," she muttered quietly, her voice thick with tears. "Doesn't think about her parents at all. Raised you all these years for nothing." She turned and walked away quickly, her back stiff. As evening came, the sky gradually darkened. darkened. Mom came out of the kitchen carrying a small basket with a red cloth inside, along with some colored paper and scissors birthday decorations prepared for Stella. She just reached the living room when the doorbell rang. It was Grandma. Grandma held a cloth bag, bulging and full. Seeing Mom, she forced a smile. "Mom, why are you here?" Mom was a bit surprised and quickly stepped aside to let Grandma in. "I came to see Stella." Grandma's voice was somewhat hoarse. She put the cloth bag on the table and took out several apples and some pastries. "Tomorrow is the child's birthday. I came to see her. Stella's resting in her room," Mom said, taking the things from Grandma's hands. "Please sit. I'll call her." No need. Let her rest properly." Grandma sat down on the sofa, her gaze sweeping around the living room, her brow furrowing slightly. "Where's Ivy? Why don't I see Ivy?" Mom's expression changed instantly. She's in her room doing homework." Mom avoided Grandma's gaze, lowering her head to arrange the red cloth in the basket. Grandma said nothing, just looked at her. "Homework? I'll go check on her." Mom quickly stood up. "Ivy is throwing a tantrum. I have her reflecting in the storage room." Grandma's movement stopped. "What did you say?" she asked, one word at a time. "You locked Ivy in the storage room?" Knowing tomorrow is Stella's, Mom's voice grew smaller and smaller, finally almost inaudible. Grandma's face slowly darkened. She stood up, swaying because the movement was too sudden. Mom tried to help her but was pushed away. "Susan!" Grandma's voice trembled. "Ivy is your daughter too." Mom collapsed into a chair, covering her face, her shoulders shaking violently. "And now you won't even let the sisters see each other one last time?" Grandma's voice was hoarse. "Stella is going to leave tomorrow. Ivy is her only sister, the sister she's protected since childhood. How can you let Stella leave? Let her leave with regrets?" I didn't." Mom's voice leaked through her fingers, broken and fragmented. "I just wanted Stella's last day to be happy. I didn't want Ivy to disturb her." Night deepened. Stella's bedroom door remained tightly shut. "Go to sleep." Grandma finally spoke, her voice hoarse. "Tomorrow, we still need to get up early." Mom shifted, as if wanting to say something, but finally just shook her head. "I can't sleep." Dad didn't move either. Grandma sighed and didn't press further. She stood up, walked to the storage room door, crouched down, and said softly through the crack, "Ivy, Grandma's here with you. Don't be afraid." My tears fell again. Time passed second by second. The candles burned out and